All right, so the next lesson, this is lesson number 7 for those of you who have been counting. This lesson's from the military. And basically in the military, you're never at a rank for a long period of time. Like you're never a sergeant for a long period of time unless you can't progress past that point. But you're always progressing in the military. You're always moving to a different position. Okay, and because of that, and because the military is this gigantic machine, and everything has to run smoothly as you exit out of that position, you're always looking for somebody to take over your position as a leader, and you're always looking for somebody that you can move up in the ranks. Right? So you're basically looking for somebody that you can trust, and you're looking for somebody who can replace you. Right? So those are the two. So as a leader, you have to have those two things. You have to have somebody that you can trust 100%. Okay? And you have to have somebody who you are grooming, who you are trying to move that person up the ranks in order for you to be able to step away and have that person then take the leadership position. So these are two of our awesome team members. Jamie, she's the person I trust 100%. And Laura, I trust Laura 10% because she's kind of shady. No, I'm just kidding.
Totally shady.
So Laura's the person that we're kind of grooming to try and take over a top leadership position. I trust Jamie 100% because she's my girlfriend. And so you should be able to trust, you should be able to trust the person you love. She's also voted one of Shape Magazine's top 50 hottest personal trainers. I'd like to throw that out there because she gets very upset with me. But I think it's pretty cool. So as a leader, you need to make sure that, right, the whole cancer thing happened to me. Well, if I didn't have Jamie and if I didn't have Laura, then I would be screwed because I would either have to shut down the gym or I would have to be in the gym while I'm getting chemo treatments and while I'm doing all of these surgeries, and I would have to constantly be on my phone and calling people and sending emails, and I don't have to do that now. I don't even have to check my email account for a week, and I know that these guys are going to do such a great job at continuing to grow the gym that I'm not needed, right? And it's because I have this person that I can trust 100%. And it's because I have this other person that is incredibly competent to be able to move up into a leadership position. Interesting story about the trust thing. So my dad owns a lodge in Canada, or used to own a lodge. And that's where I grew up in the restaurant business. It was basically like a boutique lodge that you would come and you would stay at. And then we would serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so 3 meals a day. And he had a partner at the time. And basically what ended up happening was that this partner, over the course of 5 to 10 years, roughly, this partner ended up stealing almost $1 million from the business and from my dad. And this guy was a 50-50 partner. My dad had my dad had spent many years with this guy. He was a friend, right? And my dad woke up one day and found that the company vehicle was stolen, and a lot of this money was stolen, and the guy's name was Pat. My dad's name is Mike. This guy's name was Pat, and found out that Pat basically stole the company car, which was a piece of shit car, but that's besides the point. And he ended up stealing all this money, and then my dad and the accountant really kind of delved into things and found out that Pat was basically withdrawing money that the accountant was under the impression that my dad had signed off on. And so my dad thought that he could trust this person, but in reality, this person ended up screwing them, right? So a leader does need somebody they can trust. I don't want that story to turn anybody off. A leader absolutely has to have somebody that they can trust 100%, so that if something were to happen and that leader has to step away, or for whatever reason that leader can't handle this big thing that comes up, they can have this person that they trust 100% to handle it. And also, a leader always has to be looking to the future. A leader always has to be saying to himself, what's the best role for me to be in? Is the best position for me to be in? In our current business, I did wear a lot of hats. And so I would make sales. So I would sit down with somebody and I would make a sale. And I would say, okay, well, is that the best position for me to be in? No, if I can get somebody else to be in that position, then I can move on to something else. right? So a leader has to have somebody they trust 100%, and the leader has to have somebody that they're grooming in order to take over the leadership position so that they can move on to something else.